exploring the profound significance of Matthew 12:6. In the long narrative of history's most enduring faiths, some words uttered resonate beyond their immediate context. Such is the case with Matthew 12:6. When Jesus declared, "I tell you that something greater than the temple is here," these words not only pierced through the fabric of his era, but continue to echo in the hearts of believers today. This script will explore the profound depths of that statement, uncovering its theological, historical, and personal implications. Through this exploration, we aim to deepen our comprehension of Jesus' divine revelation and invite viewers into a transformative understanding of his role in establishing a new covenant of faith. To grasp the weight of Jesus' declaration, we first need to comprehend the significance of the Jewish temple. As the heart of Jewish worship, the temple was more than just a physical structure. It embodied the nation's spiritual epicenter, a place where heaven and earth metaphorically met. Within its sacred walls, the Ark of the Covenant rested, and God's presence among his people was profoundly sensed. The temple was a place of sacrifice, community gathering, and divine encounter, serving as the focal point of Jewish religious life. Its grandeur and solemnity were manifestations of the divine love and covenant established with Israel's forefathers. When Jesus proclaimed, "Something greater than the temple is here," the statement challenged the very foundation of Jewish identity. This was not merely a theological assertion, but a radical reimagining of where God chooses to dwell. By claiming superiority over the temple, Jesus beckoned his audience to rethink their understanding of divine presence and worship. Within this context, his words were not just audacious, they were revolutionary, inviting those who heard him to embark on a spiritual journey beyond traditional religious confines. Let us delve into the theological depths of Jesus' assertion. In declaring his superiority over the temple, Jesus revealed his divine nature and mission. As the living embodiment of God among mankind, Jesus was indicating that he himself was the new meeting place between God and humanity. He was not merely a prophet or teacher, he was the embodiment of divine presence, offering a direct pathway to God. Through this declaration, Jesus underscored his role as both the fulfillment of the Old Testament prophecies and the inaugurator of a new era of grace and redemption. Understanding the historical and cultural context of Matthew 12:6 further illuminates its significance. In first-century Judea, the temple was the epicenter of religious life, and Jesus' words would have resonated deeply with his audience. At the time, the temple stood as a symbol of Jewish identity and divine favor. It represented centuries of tradition, inhabited a central place in the religious psyche, and served as the anchor of worship practices. In this light, Jesus' assertion was not only bold, but also an invitation to witness a transformative shift in spiritual understanding and practice. Jesus' statement represents a pivotal moment in the transformation of worship. By positioning himself as superior to the temple, he redefined how individuals could engage with God. No longer confined to physical or ritualistic boundaries, worship could be centered on a living relationship with Christ. Jesus encapsulated the divine presence, allowing a shift from temple-based worship to a faith that resides within the heart of each believer. This transformation invited the early believers and continues to invite us today to experience an intimate, personal relationship with God that transcends traditional boundaries. The implications of Jesus' statement extend beyond the personal to the communal aspect of faith. For the early Christian community, this new understanding of divine presence demanded a shift in identity and practice. Worship moved from the temple to homes and the hearts of believers, fostering a new sense of community and belonging. Today, this still holds, prompting us to consider how we define and engage with spiritual communities. Embracing Jesus as the conduit of divine presence challenges us to find God in our everyday interactions and relationships, building communities grounded in love and grace. Jesus, as the fulfillment and surpassing of the temple, emphasizes his role as the ultimate conduit of divine presence. Through his life, teachings, and sacrificial love, Jesus offers direct access to God. As believers are invited into deeper fellowship with him, this notion shifts the focus from earthly structures to an eternal relationship. The relational aspect of encountering God through Jesus is transformative, nurturing faith that grows through engagement with his teachings and the indwelling Spirit. This personal connection to the divine challenges and comforts, encouraging growth and profound transformation. As we reflect on Matthew 12:6 today, we find its relevance as significant as ever. In a modern world where distractions abound, the challenge to encounter God beyond institutional settings remains. Jesus' words call us to create spaces, both personal and communal, where divine presence is actively felt and celebrated. By embracing faith centered on the living Christ, we are encouraged to explore spiritual practices that renew and invigorate our relationship with God. This passage serves as a reminder that God's presence transcends physical space, inviting us into daily communion. Believers today face unique challenges in understanding and applying the truths found in Matthew 12:6. Cultural shifts and diverse expressions of faith challenge traditional paradigms. However, these challenges also present opportunities for deeper spiritual growth. The message that Jesus is greater than the temple encourages us to seek divine truth amid a changing landscape, inviting exploration of faith's transformative potential. By embracing this understanding, individuals can gain a more profound spiritual insight and engage with God in innovative and meaningful ways. As we conclude this exploration of Matthew 12:6, we are reminded of the immense theological and personal implications embedded in Jesus' words. His declaration not only redefined the spiritual landscape for his contemporaries, but continues to resonate deeply within us today. Through understanding Jesus as the embodiment of divine presence, believers are invited to enter into a relationship with God that transcends conventional boundaries. Embracing Jesus as the ultimate expression of God's presence empowers us to experience a vibrant and transformative faith. Let these revelations guide us to a deeper understanding of God's love and presence, centering our lives around the living Christ.